Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning. I'm a veteran of the professional wrestling business for over a decade, and I've held every single job except selling popcorn. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, my friend, man bun sporting gentleman.
Former soap salesman.
Former soap salesman, Zane Riley. Zane, how you doing today?
Man, it's a dark day in wrestling.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We are recording this on the day that the news hit that Vader has passed away.
Wait, Vader died?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. That's where I was going. That's all right.
Well, don't worry. This is coming out this Thursday, so it'd be timely for us to mention it.
Alabama Doink died too. I mean, we can talk about that.
When I saw,
I don't even know what that means.
yeah, that was I think there was some shade being thrown in the social network sphere, and we'll just leave that there.
Okay, all right.
And instead of saying it on a live microphone, so people can use against us in the future.
Fantastic.
Trust me, I have a podcast coming out very soon.
Oh, that's right. You have
that's discussing deceased wrestlers, and that was a discussion: should we do Vader? And I'm like, I don't. What I would say on that podcast shouldn't be said this close to his death. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Exactly, and I'm discussing this on a podcast where I've said multiple times, "Fuck Vader." So let's move quickly into our guest. Our guest comedian joining us today is Alex Spears. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh,
excited.
It was a pleasure to have you on. He's one of the up and coming comics here in the Charlotte comedy scene. I'm collecting all of you. I'm collecting all of you, just like I'm collecting the Cyclops comic books behind me right now.
Like
Probably
one would
worth
collect
much less.
Like one would collect a Pokemon.
Yes, or those little Tamahashis or whatever, those little pets. I'm collecting all of those. I'm collecting all of you and putting you in podcast form. So, Alex, the way we always start off with our non-wrestling fan guest is we always ask them, what is their exposure to professional wrestling? Like, how have you come in or acted with it through your life?
I would say I remember when I was younger, I feel like it was more prevalent in my life. Like middle school, I remember being like Indian guides and knowing kids who were like, I have wrestling action figures.
Wait, you were what?
Indian guides? Did you? It was kind of like Boy Scouts.
Like Boy Scouts?
But like with your dad, and you don't do anything. You just hang out with your dad at a church. It's
it's reverse. In Boy Scouts, your dads do everything for
exactly.
you.
I was in Boy Scouts too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like Pinewood Derbies, you always know who
you
the parents. You know who the parents that really love their kids. They have the best cars.
They're standing down the fronts. They're all aerodynamic.
Exactly.
Some kids just have the block on wheels.
That's why my car always lost, because Cat's in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon. So,
so yeah, I would say, so I knew some kids with like, Sting action figures, and like Hulk Hogan was obviously old, but people still knew him, and like The Rock was kind of prevalent, and then not a big wrestling guy, so I guess I'm a good person to not know anything and contribute to this. So we'll see.
Well, you also, like, we were talking about, like, who did you know, and you brought up one guy who you saw a clip of.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Please describe.
For sure.
Who you saw, because it is fascinating to me, a non-wrestling fan.
This is what I know about wrestling.
He's already mentioned that he knows about The Rock, Sting, and Hulk Hogan. But who is this other person?
Can you not name the person?
Oh, he won't. He doesn't know.
I don't even know.
He doesn't know the
which
name.
Speaks
see if I
volumes.
can figure it out.
I'm pretty sure it was in Japan.
Okay.
And it was a white wrestler in Japan.
Okay.
All Japanese crowd, all other Japanese wrestlers.
Like people in Japan. Mm-hmm. Like you would be in Japan.
And as one is. And he was just getting the shit beat out of him.
Okay.
And then just the guy just grabbed him in the nutsack like the Japanese guy did. Uh-huh. And then it was almost like, oh no, what have I done? And the white guy was like, and like started accumulating power like through the groin and like was hurting the Japanese man from his American penis.
Where did
and
you
everyone was
see
going
this
nuts.
clip?
The internet. I
What
really don't even
website?
know. It was reputable. It was reputable.
Was it PornTube or Pornhub?
No, I don't use those. Those two specifically.
Are you an XNXX guy? I am. XNXX.
Just you, Jizz.
See, I go to Galore. It gives it's a whole database of everything.
A database.
Yes.
I'm having to switch up here now because.
But anyways, you saw Bill Murray wrestle in Japan.
Exactly.
It was lost in translation too.
Yeah, it was even sadder.
I have no clue who that is. So.
But it just goes to show that you are a non-wrestling fan and you are aware of The Rock, Hulk Hogan, and Sting, which are big guys, and that they have penetrated your life, your mainstream life. But the other wrestler, the fourth wrestler, is Joey Ryan, who is
now on Selling Hot Topic.
Yes, who is vilified for doing such a maneuver, but is the thing that penetrated your life.
He penetrated my life. Yes,
exactly.
Yes, exactly. With that move.
I didn't
he
intend
penetrated that man's hand.
I did not intend for that pun to be there, but hey, if we want to talk about it, let's talk about it.
Sometimes it just slides in.
Hey, we're right here, professionals. But I find that fascinating that we always talk about how can we capture mainstream attention and pull people like you to. We see something like that, and Joey Ryan is vilified and saying that he's killing the business when in fact it is the reverse.
Mm-hmm. He's bringing in new fans.
That, yeah.
He likes dudes with dicks in their hands.
When I said let's watch a video, you're like, oh god, I hope they grab somebody's dick.
You know what you guys should really talk about on your podcast?
Two
I don't know if you've
guys
seen this whole thing.
Which actually, there is a moment we'll have to discuss it. It's very similar to this. So
there's a lot of weird stuff here.
Well, let's go ahead and jump right into the topic we are discussing today, which is the Coliseum Home video release, WWE's Most Embarrassing Moments, which was released December 15th, 1987, the year of our WrestleMania 3. So that's how it should be entitled. Obviously, this came out during Christmas time. This would make sense for Coliseum Home Video come out with the most embarrassing, because blooper videos were big at this time in the 80s. I imagine that there's nice Christmas commercials for this, put this in your stocking, everything we've heard a million times.
Get your
before.
Children this. Yeah.
Yes, and we've looked at other Coliseum Home Video releases, just because they're nice, neat, hour and plus, as opposed to our 3-hour pay-per-views we normally have to discuss on this program. So the Coliseum Home Video releases are very friendly to how did this get booked.
And isn't there an overlap from one of those? Like the bloopers and this have the same. There's one clip I think that it shares.
Yeah, there's a couple. I think it's the Hulk Hogan one with
the protein shakes.
They put that pills. Protein shake clip everywhere, and it is so not funny. They put it everywhere like it's the Ed Helms or Ed Ames, I think, tomahawk toss on the Johnny Carson best ofs that they put every year in the anniversaries, where the tomahawk almost hit Johnny Carson in the crotch. They play that just as much as that.
That was 2 inches away from being on a never see.
So cutting off Johnny Carson's dick is just as funny as Hulk Hogan giving Lord Halford Hayes a protein shake.
Yes.
Mildly not good taste. So, just let you know the level of humor we're dealing with.
Oh, yeah.
That Vince McMahon was more believable in liking the protein shake than Hogan was.
Yeah.
It was tough to figure out,
this is
delicious.
Comedy
or is it bad?
This is not bad.
It's not bad, Alfred. But it does start off on the WWE Network saying there's a warning for suggestive dialogue.
No, sure is.
Which we will get into as we roll through here.
I was doing something, I was doing some other wrestling-related work and watching this at the same time, and I'm just kind of clicking away at my computer. And then Vince McMahon says something, and I go, what? And I had to rewind it to hear if I heard it right.
Oh, yeah, there are a couple of things. But we start off with... speaking of grabbing people's dicks, we start off with Ted DiBiase paying off an individual, and of course that individual puts up money in his tights, and Ted DiBiase goes grabbing for his dick and or his money that he got. So, he basically says he's gonna have somebody else doing his sweating for him. Pays for. I didn't have his name, but it's Washington to come out and wrestle Chris Curtis, who has a better record on WWE than I ever will. So, but I kept screaming while Ted was cutting this promo, hard camera, Ted.
Come on, bro. Sell the face.
Yeah, you turn around and cut it towards the camera. I know there's a couple thousand people in this direction, but this other direction is going to go to 1 million people.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's still some people over there too.
Yeah, exactly.
This made me wonder, when you decide between a Speedo versus a singlet. Because if he had a singlet, he could just cram his money down there. He's not getting that shit back.
Oh,
He'd have to really go armpit deep to get that dick money.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that might have been the deciding factor. Like, well, who's going to be the guy that I bring in? Okay, one guy's got trunks, one guy's got a singlet. Yeah, it's going to look real weird. I'm fishing down through a singlet.
Yeah. Which of you guys are going to be the heel and the baby here? Which one of you guys wrestling for me?
It should be noted that Ted DiBiase says, I have more money, so I'm a better person than you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Which is now the slogan of our country, by the way. Did you guys didn't know that? That's actually the slogan of our country.
Lock up your kids, because we're going to if you don't.
Well, I mean, that was Ricky Morton's line, lock up your daughters, you know what I'm saying? So,
Trump took a step further. He's like, I'm going to lock up other people's daughters.
I'm going to live with daughters and your sons.
They're going to be sleeping on grounds in tents.
So yeah, we got the dick grab. Anything else about? We're gonna
he uses a real hard boy.
Yeah, thank you. I was
When
about
talking
to,
about
earn
Washington,
your money.
oh boy, like whoa!
Yeah.
Did you mean to say that to the white guy?
Yeah, and who's like his like sleeveless
Virgil.
tuxedoed man? That was also kind of weird. I didn't enjoy any of this.
Which I loved it when they came back later and they're saying, "We'll get there, rapid fire."
Yeah.
Well, this is like there's a lot of segment here. So
Yeah,
I'll throw out some stuff, but we have to discuss it. We'll discuss it, but if
And then
not,
get
we'll just
on.
nod. We'll
Let's
move
get
on.
ready, yeah.
Just want to make sure that every segment is covered on here. There's a lot of segments, but it's one of the top. Should definitely be discussed,
Yeah.
especially with the inference of boy.
Boy.
So, like that's a hard why.
Yeah.
That's a hard why.
I actually like to think that maybe originally the black dude had the singlet on and the white guy had the trunks. But then it's like, no, I want to call this black man boy. You guys change up real fast.
Okay.
I like to think it.
I like to think that.
I like my $1 million man to be real racist.
When I'm planning out my racism,
Yeah.
I lay it out. Just right.
Yeah.
He also does look just like the lead singer for Alabama. Like exactly with the feathered
You know,
hair
I
back
never
and the beard.
thought about it, but
Especially
yeah,
then.
That's definitely then for sure, and that's a conspiracy we need to think about. Right
Maybe
there.
I've never seen them in the same room.
Never. I've never seen him in the same room.
Both probably racist.
Look into that.
As soon as he got done headlining Madison Square Garden, he went right down to Myrtle Beach and
Yeah.
that he used to do all the time. Like, it makes sense.
Has on bar there.
Yeah.
I can't think of one Alabama song, but
Roll on highway, roll
There you
on
go.
along,
okay.
roll on daddy till you get back home. So I mostly know that because there's a drinking song to that.
No, okay.
You drink every time roll on.
Oh, okay.
Which you will die.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the name of the song.
And
It's the chorus.
And
The pre-chorus
and
and
the
the
chorus.
and the go home.
There's a
Bridge,
few other
yeah.
parts. And
And then they just scream, roll on!
that's you chug. You finish your drink at that
Yeah,
point.
it just is as much as possible. But moving right on to Jesse Ventura wrestling a young Brooklyn Brawler, and then we get to Jesse Ventura sitting on the couch with Vince McMahon trying to be Johnny Carson, and they talk about this piece of jewelry in his chin.
Cleft chin.
It looked like he was just huffing spray paint and like the bag
Just
like
left
rubbed
some.
off.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize that was a thing. But thank you, Alex, for educating me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how to spray paint. Because you got to spray into the bag, and then the remnants get on the bag, and you huff
Exactly.
it, and then it gets around here.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
Teach you something every day, man. You got some spray paint on the back. We'll go learn about it real fast.
Okay.
Come on, kids.
All right.
Come on, kid.
All right, let's stop. All right, so we just. Oh God! Oh, this wrestling podcast is gonna get real weird, real fast.
I told you that gold was way better than that silver.
Oh, you're damn right. The metallics
Yep.
that really gives
The
you
metallics.
gives you
Man.
the type of high you want, my friend. None of that
What you
plain,
need.
We don't use whites and blacks around here. We use that gold shit. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, Jesse Ventura huffing spray paint.
Yeah, that cleft chin thing, which I was like, this is odd. Like, where did I've never
Yes,
seen this before.
that was what was odd. Not the hairpiece or the mask.
Well, that's proto Jesse.
No,
This
Toast Jess.
But this thing in his chin, I was like, this is odd. Like, when did everybody think that was a good idea? And then, 2 days after I saw this, my girlfriend was watching RuPaul Drag Race, and sure as shit, somebody had one of those cleft chin ornaments. So
That's amazing.
So, dare I say, Jesse Ventura ahead of his time.
I'm telling you, I was watching this the whole time. I was like, I'm pretty sure that this is like fashion forward. I was like, Rihanna has worn all of these things, not at the same time, but Rihanna has worn all
Tell
of
her
these
to step her
things.
game up.
Exactly. She get more credit.
It's ahead of his time, my friend.
Old Jack Manning, yeah, we saw it. You saw it a couple days later, Jack Manning.
They kept calling him Jack, too.
Yeah, Jack McMahon. You're not important.
Just to mess with him?
Well, I guess that was supposed to be the blooper. That was the point. But that was supposed to be the embarrassing moment. The blooper was him calling Jack.
You could ask that question of all of these clips. Like, is this the blooper?
Yeah, there was some that I was like, so where is the fuck up?
Yeah, that's the thing with like pro wrestling, where you take a bad guy and you make them look dumb, and that just par for the course.
Yeah.
That's what you do. Is the bad guy looks stupid, and that's the thing, you know. So the good guy looks good, and we cheer for him, and not the guy who looks like a moron. Mm-hmm. So just make an entire video table like, these are bloopers and embarrassing moments, when really it's, oh no, this is what we do.
Yeah.
It's like putting out a thing like top 10 times that Carrot Top miraculously pulled out a prop. You know what I'm saying? Like,
whoa, did not see that one coming.
That's what he does. I don't know. So, or times that Dennis Miller got very excited about stuff. So, but anyways, we're going to move right along. You see Vince, like I said, doing his best Johnny Carson impersonation. Fabulous Moolah hits Lord Alpha with a broom. Then we see the protein
I didn't
shake.
realize she was wearing a mask at the time.
And was she pulling it up so that she could talk?
Or breathe.
Hazard working conditions, you know. Or maybe she was huffing the paint.
She was
inside.
huffing
They were passing paint around.
Oh,
Go ahead, what were you saying?
Speaking of which, maybe we should go outside again.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Oh, listen, on the second rethought, the vinyl red is the best one. Like, the metallics are okay, but that vinyl red gets you exactly where you're.
You only get so high on the metallics.
If you're gonna huff spray paint, vinyl red is the way to go. Okay.
Yep. So. Where are we at? Oh yeah, huffing paint.
Huffing paint.
Oh yeah, Moolah huffing paint.
Moolah huffing paint. Good time. Protein shake. It's not as bad as
we've talked about it before. Go back and listen to one of our old episodes.
Exactly. Go back. Let's go forward though and talk about referees getting involved. We got Bruno versus Billy Graham. Oh, were you gonna say something, Alex?
No, referees getting involved. That just happens.
That's another thing. Sometimes it does.
Well, the setup was that sometimes wrestlers had to be referees, right?
Yes. Okay. That was like the whole thing because Gorilla Monsoon was involved, but Gorilla was also doing commentary on this particular match.
He was more like an enforcer, but at the time they didn't have that term.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't know that word then.
Yeah, this was before you brought Tyson in WrestleMania, like 14.
Or he was like, you know what, I can do both, guys. That's really
I can do it all.
I'll be right back. 1, 2. Oh, he kicked out everybody.
Yeah, just doing commentary.
Gorilla Monsoon out there, counting real good.
Mm-hmm. Sweet Hansen also getting involved. But what were you going to say about referees getting involved?
Oh, no, I was just going to say that Gorilla Monsoon was probably the greatest name I've ever heard in wrestling. Is it just a monsoon of said gorillas?
Of gorilla?
Yes. Of gorillas?
It is a precursor to Sharknado.
It's the jungle Sharknado.
That would be real fucking cool.
Holy
shit, I'm gonna write that down.
I thought they were extinct. No!
You better tweet that fast because I'm gonna tweet that. Yeah, that's a solid one right there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
We'll
put that out on the how this get booked.
That's gonna get me at least 5 likes from the regular people that normally like my tweets. But goddamn, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Moving on to Mean Gene Okerlund wrestling with Hulk Hogan, and Mean Gene in trunks with, I'd have to say, an odd tan line.
Yeah.
Because, like, he doesn't have a tan line you would expect. Because, like, okay, you would think that he would have, like, longer shorts that would give you, like, a tan line. Like, his tan line would come up to, like, maybe just above his knee.
Yeah, mid-thigh, maybe.
No, his, like, tan line comes up to, like, halfway, like, probably his dick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, the short shorts that he would be wearing would be ridiculously short in public. And there's not too much of a stretch for him to just wear the trunks.
Yeah.
But, like, it's so clear and hard of a tan line. Like, it's such a hard, it's like, rival my father mid-planting season.
Yeah. His farmer's tan.
Like, my dad is just as white as I am.
Yeah.
But he is as dark as my girlfriend. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, he's the contrast. So maybe that's why he likes our relationship. Like, oh,
maybe.
It's like my arm. It's like me. It's like my upper arm and my bottom arm. You know what I'm saying?
I see a little bit of myself in
I'm going to try to be a cool white guy that goes up to the black person and go, I'm almost as dark as you are.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what my dad would do.
Yeah. That'd go over great.
So.
They do not like that, by the way.
They do not. Please note that How Did This Get Booked does not condone that type of behavior.
Don't use that one. Don't use it. You go to something else.
Yeah, exactly.
But on like a badass scale, when the the announcer gets like tapped in to wrestle with Hulk Hogan, like, is that guy cool, or is that just like the little kid who's getting run through? Like, oh, make a wish, Hulk Hogan, sounds good. Or is he like a legitimate hardcore wrestler?
I mean, he's just as legitimate as one of the more recent tag team champions we've had,
Yeah.
especially the one that was crowned at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Was the kid's name Lucas?
Yeah.
Nicholas?
Yeah.
It was Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Yeah, he's just as legitimate as Nicholas.
He was he was a 10-year-old boy.
He was a 10-year-old boy teamed with Braun Strowman, won the tag team titles at WrestleMania. So he's just as legitimate as that
It's
kid.
all a charity. My life's a charity.
He had prior engagements.
Yeah.
Middle school. I want to be the guy that wrote that one. I want to be that guy one day.
One day. Don't worry, he'll have a podcast.
He got paid tons of money to
and
write
he's
that.
gonna have a 6-hour long episode on Braun Strowman. So
on Nicholas.
and on Nicholas. But then we move right on to Terry Funk spitting Chew into the camera.
Yeah. That was intense.
It's great, and then we get to a full match between him and Junkyard Dog, and I think this is the first match I ever watched.
Really?
I'm trying to connect the dots, but one of my earliest memories in general, was a memory of me watching pro wrestling, and it was Junkyard Dog, because I obviously remember the dun 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 dun, and the crowd standing up when he came out, and he wrestled a guy in black trunks. Now, I can't remember specifically if my parents rented a video that contained this match, or they recorded Saturday Night's Main Event from the night before for me to watch the next day. But I remember watching it Sunday morning after church, and my parents being very excited as I'm like, "Oh, we've got something to show you." And this is and this is the only thing I could glean out of that whole tape. So I don't know if they got this particular release that we are discussing right now. Might have been my first exposure to professional wrestling.
Wow.
Or they recorded Saturday Night's Main Event, which contained this match.
Yes.
So I don't know which one is which or which whatever. But either way, this match, if this is the first exposure to pro wrestling that I've ever had, explains my path in professional wrestling. Why I take nothing seriously whatsoever.
So embarrassing is a good thing. Got it. Noted.
Okay, that's what pro wrestling is: being an embarrassment, looking like a buffoon, and just bumping around for the baby face. Yes,
That was a real cool dick spot where he like goes over the top rope and gets the leg pulled.
Everything that Terry Funk does in this.
Yeah.
This is why you show the whole thing. But they say embarrassing moment. This is just a match.
Yeah, right.
This is
It's Saturday.
mode of operandi in pro wrestling. So
Is Jimmy Hart, is that the name of his like
Manager.
Yeah, okay. That dude just looks like if cocaine was a human. Like he's got like the megaphone with the hearts, and then like the 80s jacket and the keyboard necklace thing. Not necklace.
Frankie says relax.
And he like never gets messed with, and then he just gets wrecked like at all times. I like that guy. I like that guy a lot.
okay,
That was my number one guy.
That's my favorite wrestler of all time, Jimmy Hart.
After watching one thing,
I think it goes Joey Ryan, Jimmy Hart, Hulk Hogan.
in that order.
In specific order. And there's a big gap between Jimmy Hart and Hulk Hogan.
It's just athleticism, really.
It's athleticism.
Especially now.
Yeah.
I guarantee Jimmy Hart can do jumping jacks. Hulk Hogan, highly doubted. So
No, he's poured into his body.
Any other
Sam Houston can still do those real cool kick-ass cartwheels.
any other thoughts about this match?
No,
God bless it.
God bless it.
Yeah.
God
bless Terry Funk. He's a national treasure.
God bless this match. It brought me to the dance. So
Here we are.
Here we are.
You're welcome or we're sorry.
Exactly. Either or. Take either of those.
Take what you want.
Take it what you want. We go back with the $1 Million Man. He checks into a hotel, kicks somebody out of a hotel. Which
This is it. I was waiting for her to like some sign off, like the lady up the front desk to get a sign off joke about how like those two should enjoy their honeymoon or something. Like you two are gay together, that's why you want this room so bad. I wanted that moment. Like enjoy your honeymoon, sweet Mr. DiBiase. You guys enjoy your honeymoon.
I mean, if you're gonna drop a hard Y on a boy,
Yeah,
right,
Get
exactly.
that joke in there.
Exactly.
So.
You deserve it.
But also too, like this hotel looks like just a Holiday Inn. You
Oh, of course.
Like, this looks like the same Holiday Inn from one of our previous episodes where they had that with the Buff Bagwell, the Day of the Warrior Holiday Inn. It looks like the same.
Well, they probably had it for the same time.
Probably had
They got the same rates.
Yeah, you can only do so many films. Just don't fit them into one day.
Hey, you know, it'd be a real cool place to shoot about that hotel where Ted DiBiase kicked that family out of there for their honeymoon. Y'all think you can get that?
Yeah,
all right, cool, man. Hell yeah.
Real sweet love scene in there. We should do that. So.
No, I mean I don't want to fuck a girl, but I mean I'll rub a side boob. I don't know.
I'll rub paint all over. It'll be real sexy like.
Well, come on, it's cool, man.
Man, I thought that the $1 Million Man was gonna like try and be like, "Hey, baby, but you can stay."
Oh, that'd
and
be cool
it was just
too.
gonna be like, "Ooh, gross," and his like helper guy, manager's there.
He could give them. Mind if we dance with your dates?
Yeah, exactly.
We were just leaving.
We're just slowly counting off $100 bills. I've never seen anybody snap a $100 bill so proficiently in my entire life than Virgil. Every promo. Just,
He doesn't want to get rid of it. He's like, this should be my money.
Yeah.
I don't fucking have any.
it's some meat, sauce, money, motherfucker. We can see a little bit more Ted when he's about ready to take on Laney Poffo, who makes everything sound like a poem.
Was he reading off of a frisbee?
Yes.
Yeah. He writes the poem on a frisbee and then tosses it.
Oh, okay.
That's his deal.
Just the most masculine thing you can do, you know?
Yeah.
Right headspace. You're getting in the right headspace.
Was this before or after the Genius?
Before. This is right as he comes.
So he always did that gimmick. But he always did the poetry deal.
Yeah, poetry was always his thing.
So he was still called leaping.
He
could write poetry and leap.
Yeah, he's a Renaissance man.
Sure, he's got 2, and he can throw a frisbee. That's 3 skills he's got there.
A Renaissance fucking man.
Dan DeVito doesn't have that many skills, and he was in a movie called Renaissance Man.
Oh yeah, he couldn't pull off that secret.
No, don't go.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you had. You had to be a Renaissance man to be in the WWF. You had Jesse Ventura. You had Laney Poffo.
You had to have a clef.
Yeah, we have Jimmy Hart, as a man of many traits, obviously.
All of them.
Mini drug.
Fashionista.
Yeah, so you had to be a Renaissance man to be a part of the WWF at this time. So, just saying. Then we cut to an older clip of Andre the Giant unmasking a preliminary wrestler, tossing him by his mask, and they're like, "Oh, he probably thought he ripped his head off."
That guy did not look 350 pounds.
No, he did not. If Andre was like 300 something, and that guy's supposed to be 350, I doubt that for sure. Then we go to Adrian Adonis in drag.
Does he always wear drag?
I kind of did towards the end. That was kind of like his deal.
That was it. He
just as much as he didn't. I mean,
just like all of us, right?
Yeah, just like all drag queens.
Yeah.
He looked like that old Converse basketball commercial.
Grandmama.
Larry Johnson like up in like looking like her grandma.
I talked about Grandmama last night at work. I bring him up all the time.
Well, obviously it comes full circle now. That would make Adrian Adonis like ahead of his time.
Yeah, see?
Trendsetter.
Fashion.
Yeah.
Athletes dressing like women.
Chic.
Adrian Adonis, Grandmama Larry Johnson.
Clear line.
As a kid, I had the entire, he came out with his own, you could get the Grandmama basketball cards, and I had the entire set.
You seem like the type of guy that wouldn't collect any other basketball cards
but the Grandmama.
Yeah.
But the Grandmama.
And random Tony Kukoc. I had 2 basketball players. One's not even themselves. Love Grandmama. Hey, Larry Johnson.
Well, I mean, after what he did to the Hornets organization,
Okay.
he became a Nick. So
yeah, that's right. And then now you don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
Had to explain him to you by using his drag name.
Yeah, everybody understood exactly what his drag name was.
Oh, Grandmama.
Oh, okay. Fifi O'Hara.
Who was a precursor to Medea.
Thank you. Exactly.
There we go. So Adrian Adonis is the thing from Medea.
Breaking glass ceilings.
There's
One dunk at a time.
So what you're saying is there's probably a 6-degree separation to Adrian Adonis?
Or it could be Adrian Adonis to Grandmama to Big Mama from Martin Lawrence's character.
Yes, yeah, forget about Big Mama.
And then Medea.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Man. Guys, we're this is the best episode we've ever done.
Okay.
It's all the spray paint. It's all this. It's
always great huffing.
Always great huffing material.
You know, we're probably on the down half. We should probably take another quick break real fast. Let's go.
Okay.
Woo!
I feel like full on Jimmy Hart right now, guys.
I feel like Mean Gene Okerlund suntan.
All right.
And then they can take us home because the powers of 3 and whatnot.
Let's take it back around.
All right.
Let's get to Mr. Wonderful. And, I feel pretty wonderful right now. And Bobby the Brain Heenan, where Heenan gets fired on the show because he like stooged off that he had a meeting with Piper before WrestleMania 1, like
at 11:15 this morning.
Yeah, and it was just, and then of course Paul Orndorff says, "You're fired." I could see Vince McMahon's wheels turning. Like, "Ooh, you're fired. That's a good slogan right there." I probably say that all the time on my program in late '97, early 2000s.
Write this down.
Write this down. You're fired. I like that. Oh, Orndorff, say that again. Like, so Orndorff was really
So here we go.
Clear line.
Precursors.
Paul Orndorff, you're fired, which gets a Vince McMahon, which gets a Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Boom.
There it is. Whom is a president, which is saying that potentially Paul Orndorff could be president.
100%.
Exactly.
That math checks out.
That's science.
Exactly. Especially when Paul Orndorff had that goofy 1800s mustache that he had for a while there.
Just like a founding father.
Exactly like a founding, like a very Taft. You know what I'm saying? Taft era, William Henry Harrison type mustache going on. It wasn't wasn't as short as Teddy, but definitely everybody pre-Teddy. That's what he had going on. So big horseshoe mustache.
Like a fun Walter.
So here is Paul Orndorff, bookshelf by two presidents.
Right there. We're making all these. I'm telling you, this is the best episode.
Guys,
we're linking.
We're fire.
Every cylinder. We had to get new cylinders to fire on.
We're gonna bring him in through a whole new door.
Yeah. we had to break out this window just to get one of the cylinders in. That's how we're fighting. That's how we're firing.
Yeah.
Power invaders in all of us today.
Or maybe it's because my soul feels like that oppressed.
I feel kind of weird laughing about a guy who I don't know that is dead, and I'm like, yeah, right.
This is Vader. He's right there.
Oh, the guy with the mask thing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that guy.
That's his totem right there.
Oh man! If your house starts to get haunted by Vader, you let me know.
Power.
I'll come over.
Hence why I have Bam Bam Bigelow standing on top of it right now. Because I hope that's going on right now as we speak in the afterworld. So, then we go to Vince McMahon having bloopers. Which is funny. He seems very charming in this moment. And then,
he seems like he's okay with fucking up.
Yeah.
Which, as we know anything from any of the stories, he is not.
Yeah, he's not okay with sneezing because he can't control sneezing.
Yeah.
But yet, he's okay. Well,
I was just thinking that!
I've heard this story that he's like, he doesn't like when you sneeze around him, he's like, clean it up. Like, come on, person. Like
you can't control sneezing.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, what are you doing?
Okay, so let's get this straight. The things that have penetrated your mainstream life is Hulk Hogan, Sting, The Rock, Joy Ryan Dick Flip, and the fact that Vince McMahon doesn't like people to sneeze.
And Roddy Piper from Always Sunny. And so when I saw this video, I was like,
dead on.
I was like, what? Who the hell is that man? Like,
we will get to that in a second. But yes, the Vince McMahon crazy person. Like, that's the thing, is like, so it makes me wonder, like, did he just devolve? And like, or was he always crazy and he's hiding it well? Like, I don't know. But is he like William from Westworld? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm trying to figure out, is Vince McMahon the Man in Black? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Is he the Man in Black? Regardless, he would definitely have sex with a robot. Moving right along.
Sex with a robot.
We have Harley Race taking on George the Animal.
So wait, did we skip over? So we went from Paul Orndorff doing the show, but right after that, he does another segment that's like 2 years later.
Yeah, see, that was weird. Like with the Paul Orndorff babyface turn, it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Because he's not a good babyface.
Yeah, and like also too, like, he's far better at making Hogan look good. Mm-hmm. Like he then he turned back heel, and then he turned back. Like he's far better as a heel. He's perfect heel.
So I say that to bring this up because he quits again. He quits the family again.
Yes,
and he brings out Engelbert Humperdinck. Okay, I need that to be said. So when he's brought back later, I have a question.
Okay,
so it's about Engelbert Humperdinck. I need that said so I can play.
Okay, and I'm glad you put that in because not a lot of people asked a lot of questions. Like Engelbert Humperdinck.
That dude was wild.
He also looked like he was in Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh man,
he's
my
doing.
Wait a minute. Hold on now.
Sir.
Sorry, now
connecting all the goddamn. I'm gonna erase my entire board that has my entire set.
We're gonna get some yarn in here.
Yeah, we need more yarn.
The board that looks like a crazy person, but it's really just my set and all these jokes that I'm working on. I'm gonna erase all of them and just put up all these theories we've come up with.
We're not gonna be able to get in here because of all the yarn.
Crazy person. But we have George Animal Steel taking on Harley Race, King Harley Race, which, you know what? I gotta say, Harley Race's career, he did it right.
Oh, I love Harley Race.
Because, he spent, 2/3 of his career, maybe 3/4 of it, just being the biggest badass, world champion. And then as he's like, I'm kind of winding down, I'm going to get the big payday from WWF.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to squeeze a couple more dollars out of being a manager. Then I'm going to do the convention circuit. And then I'm just going to be like, all right, I'm done. You know, I really dig his career path. Because it's it wasn't so front, I'm a buffoon. You know, it was no, I'll do the buffoonery when I can't be the big badass anymore. Mm-hmm. That's how you do it, man. Yeah. That's how you do it. You be a bit badass for a good portion of it. You play the clown towards the end. You do a little bit of managerial. Just squeeze every last dollar out of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Get that Hall of Fame nod. Get that ring.
Yeah.
Slap Vader one time in the face.
Mm-hmm. Just doing it fucking right. Doing it right.
Then you ride out the convention circuit till you die.
Exactly. But yeah, I would love to do an episode about Harley Race.
Yeah.
As opposed to Vader.
Oh shit! Wait, of this podcast, not your other podcast.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, I'd rather, if I was going to break the rule of deceased wrestlers, how about instead of talking about
I don't ever
wrestler,
want you to have to talk about Harley Race on yours.
I know.
Or Terry Funk.
I want him to be. I want him to be a host. You know what I'm saying? That's my Westworld example.
How did you outlive all these people?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I would rather. I'd rather have Harley Race do an episode on me one day.
Cocaine and Coors Light.
But no, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather talk about a live person on a dead person podcast. That's how much I dislike.
Like the reverse of prayers.
Exactly. Yeah, the reverse of prayers. They talk about a match in Beantown. I just have Boston threw a lot of trash in the ring.
Yeah, they went nuts at him.
Then we get to Mean Gene making a mistake, and he curses.
He says shit, but they bleep it out.
I think he said, you fucking guys. I think he said, yeah, you guys can bleep yourself.
But they bleeped it. But earlier in the show,
one thing shit themselves. He's like, you guys can shit yourself.
No, they're messing with them, right?
I thought he said shit later or something. But what did happen is Vince McMahon says, "God damn it," early in the game.
God damn it.
But they didn't bleep it. He just says, "Oh, god damn."
Okay, now.
But they didn't bleep it out.
But that's his line. That's you know.
That's his one.
That's like bleeping out Hacksaw Jim Duggan saying "ho."
Well, I mean,
if you listen to anything on the Bruce Pritchard show, it's always like, "God damn, pal."
Well, I know, but I was surprised they was. I'm surprised the WWE. Yeah. I was surprised WWF would put "goddamn" on one of their videos.
That's what Vince says.
Yeah.
If you delete it, it's not being authentic to Vince McMahon. But apparently, Mean Gene Okerlund just cussing like a sailor. Mm-hmm. You guys can fuck yourself. Not even think let's just bleep it. Let's just bleep it.
Not even maybe we don't put this on there. No, put that on there.
Put that on there. Let people know you don't fuck with Mean Gene Okerlund.
I'm the final fucking say so around here. Okay. I'll kill all you motherfuckers.
Hulk Hogan made the hot tag to me.
I finished the deal.
Who here tagged with Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
That's what I fucking thought.
They did a butt bump.
Yeah. And guess what? You guys can fuck yourselves.
Fuck you, fuck him.
Fuck all of
you. Fuck yourself.
Then we get into wrestling classic match that we've discussed on a previous episode, where you have Dynamite Kid taking on Nikolai Volkov, who is singing the Russian national anthem, rang the bell, and immediately gave him a drop kick off the top. That's it.
I was a fan.
Yeah, best match of the night.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not American, but that's cool. Whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
Just anti-Russia. Go America, 100%. You know
okay.
I mean?
Oh, you just in general your life view.
Just yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying
thought
this.
You meant
I'm not even saying this. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Overall, 100%.
Fuck Russia.
Go America.
Go America. Okay. Cool,
America's
man. Cool, man.
And if we got to do it through a guy who's actually British, who spent most of his life living in Canada, then so be it.
I'll take
Fuck
that.
it. Yeah.
Take that.
Allied powers, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Get on it. Mm-hmm. Same continent.
Get on it or get off of it.
That's right. Huh? These colors don't run.
No, they don't.
Love it or leave it.
All right, I think we're going to get the time where we bring it back around. We have Bam Bam Bigelow with Slick and Sir Oliver Humperdinck.
Why the fuck did everybody have to scream Humperdinck's name? It's because when I have a new man, when Orndorff does it, I got a new manager. It's, what is it? Oliver Humperdinck?
Sir!
Oliver Humperdinck! But then like Bam Bam does it the exact same way. Is that the only way you can announce him?
But it's like, Sir Oliver Humperdinck!
And then Bam Bam does it the same way, except he yells at Slick a lot cooler.
But you gotta do it, and you gotta shake your arms like you're jerking
like
off two
Hulkamania.
dicks. Like you're jerking off two dicks at the same time.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
just,
Yeah, exactly.
They'll come when I stop saying Humperdinck. Humperdinck. Yeah, that's my question. Why the fuck you gotta scream his name all the time?
I don't know.
I think it's contractual.
Yeah, like,
Maybe you gotta put some excitement.
maybe that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
I have just exclamation points out through my name.
A lot of umlauts,
Yeah,
you know.
a tilde.
It's a strong Dutch name, and strong and that you have to yell it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was capitalized on the paper. Everybody knows text form capitalized in jail.
They put it in all caps on the Kitron, you know?
Yeah, they screwed up a birth certificate somewhere, so he's just Humperdinck. Because that's his birth name.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you gotta put some excitement to Sir Oliver being your manager, okay?
Yeah, right.
Because when you see him walk out, I'm like, this guy?
Not to be confused with Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yes.
Ooh.
Was that what Burt Baccarat's real name?
All right.
You're welcome.
Truth.
Knowledge. Power.
Speaking of truth, knowledge, and power, we get to Piper's Pit.
Yeah.
With Bruno Sammartino.
Oh, did you have garlic for lunch?
Ah, yes. We get all kinds of... We're going to build up to an interesting part as well. But before that, we have a woman in the ring, and I believe the other man sitting in the ring is Tim White. He looked very familiar. I think that's Tim White. That was the guy in the ring there, should have pointed out.
Of course.
But we have Bruno in Piper's Pit. Bruno makes Cowboy Bob Orton leave, and then Bruno finally sits down and starts insulting him.
Yes, and then calls him a racist term.
Yes, which, here's the funny, I've seen this before, definitely on YouTube, this whole Coliseum Home video, and I remember this specific part, and I wanted to, we definitely have to discuss this, because I want to see if the WWE Network was going to bleep out or remove Rowdy Roddy Piper saying, "You stupid wop." Apparently not.
Nope.
That's in there.
It's still good.
Yeah, no, let it fly.
Hey, you think that maybe we should take this out? You never know what the future holds, me, Gene. Go fuck yourself. You put that wop. You put that wop in there.
Make sure you put executive producer Mean Gene Oakland underneath and say, if you don't like the word wop, fuck yourself.
Yeah, what if someone's like, that's why
Wop
it's a
hating
blooper.
Okerlund.
You know how many wops I had to fight in WWE 2? What?
You heard me.
Mussolini was a bitch.
Can't argue there, Mean Gene. I fucking know.
You're goddamn right. Oh, goddamn, Vince is in this now, too?
Oh, shit. Goddamn, pal, they can all go fuck themselves. That's what I said. That's what I said, Vince.
But yeah, I was loving with young people today. I'm like, oh, Roddy Piper, he was such a good heel. Yeah, because he was a heel because he said racist shit.
Yeah.
When he was wrestling in Los Angeles, I guarantee, Spick, Beaner, Wetback, all those things came out of his mouth. I promise you they did. I promise you, he played La Cucaracha on the bagpipes to insult an entire race of people. And that's how he got people mad at him. But oh, he was such a good heel. Yeah, because he was playing a racist. That's what pro wrestling was at one point in time.
A good portion of us can agree that racism is bad. That's why people hated him. Not a lot of people agree the same way they did today as they did back then. But,
But that's how you got people mad, was using racism. Because this guy would eventually get his comeuppance. That's how it worked in pro wrestling. And for us to not acknowledge the past...
Yep, exactly.
Dooms us to repeat.
Doomed to repeat
Yep.
it. That's why he later went on to paint himself half black at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Wait, he did what?
Yes.
Okay.
Good spit take. Wish we had some water for you. All this equipment is now ruined.
All of it. But we get to see Piper's butt.
Good.
That's,
Real dominant tan line. That's a real nice tan line.
yeah, definitely one of those guys that when you go sit by the pool, you just put those wrestling trunks on to get that nice defined tan right around there.
And it came out from like a Kama Sutra looking kind of move where it was like
Sunset
just
Sunset,
heads and
right?
butts and
yeah.
Heads and butts and nuts. But yeah, it was tag against Bruno. So yeah, that was his comeuppance right there for calling him a dumb wop. So Bruno could get a little bit of comeback.
Don't celebrate it, Jake. Calm down a little bit.
Listen.
You're getting too excited saying that word.
Listen, Roddy Piper is allowed to say it. WWE Network has okayed this racial slur.
Okay.
I can say it and not lose my wrestling career over
There you
it.
go.
Apparently,
You're still good in the WWE?
I just can't. Apparently, me saying "go fuck yourself" is a bigger issue than WAP because nobody believes about WAP.
Yeah.
You know what you gonna do, brother?
Wop, 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 wop.
Hey, breather.
Wop, 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 wop.
Goddamn, pal. Get out of here.
Get out. Okay.
We get Brutus the Barber Beefcake being a barber to Johnny V, which I think this was.
Is that the debut of the beefcake gimmick or the barber gimmick?
Yes, I believe this kind of started the whole thing. It would make sense because that's right when he breaks away from the Dream Team because Johnny V was the manager of the Dream Team. So this was the impetus for that. So.
Well, good on him.
Then we go to the Slammy Awards.
I didn't know the Slammies were around back then.
They were for a long time. Have you seen the classic Vince McMahon musical number? Stand back.
No, I have not.
Stand back. Stand back.
I didn't know he was such a man of multiple hats.
Renaissance man. That's why he only booked Renaissance men in early 80s WWF.
Man.
I liked it because they used, well, I wrote it down when I heard it. It was WWF Academy of Arts and Sciences, and that's who selected someone for an award for just pretty much being an idiot, and it was just so they could make fun of Russians.
Most igmagnanimous,
yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying that all wrong.
Yeah.
But most of my mustache is in my mouth. My mustache is in my mouth right now.
Ignoramus.
Yes. Which is just basically Vince's way of saying I have a bigger vocabulary than you. So he's kind of being a dick right there. That's all it is.
Backhanded
compliment.
I'm gonna show this guy by shitting on all of you.
Oh, but back to Roddy Piper again.
Yeah.
I ran into Tina Turner in the hallway, which was a black broom.
Yeah.
Which, listen, he just said WAP earlier. Okay, are you not surprised by the depths of this man? The depths of this man to get heat.
Do you think he was sitting there with spray paint and he was like, and then just tried to spray the broom and was like, just fucked up from huffing the spray paint?
Well, let's all go huff some black spray paint and find that makes it racist.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, huffing black spray paint doesn't make you racist.
No.
Just to let you know.
That was actually just let down.
And you know what, guys? I'm really sorry that I said the W word earlier.
Yeah.
If anything, huffing black spray paint makes you very remorseful of the things you've said. So I apologize.
Gets you pretty woke about some stuff.
Yep.
Gets you woke. If it makes you, if it incites you to say any W word, it's woke.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize.
And whites have had it too easy.
Exactly. And I apologize for what I have said on this podcast earlier.
Not only for my words, but for whites.
and even my actions and stuff like that. I'm very, very, very sorry. So from the bottom of my heart, from all whites to everybody listening out to this podcast, I'm very sorry. And it wasn't until after huffing black spray paint that I realized the errors of my ways. So
kids, you can learn.
You can learn.
Just huff.
Just huff. Huff and puff it, and we'll blow this house of racism down.
Yeah. We're all fucked up on spray paint. We're all equal.
And we're coming down.
We're all gold lips around here.
Well, luckily we're winding down to an end of this whole thing, this whole show, everything. We get, like I said, Piper comes out, and like I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that he calls MTV music to vomit by.
Yeah.
Which there's no B in MTV.
What?
He's MTV music to vomit
it's
by.
called MTV
Music to vomit by.
Yeah,
MTVB. That's basically what he.
Yeah.
Like,
Not good.
Not good at acronyms.
No.
Not really good, but,
I feel like he didn't know how they work.
Yeah. Being quasi-racist, right on point.
Cool.
Right on point. Just right. Knew the buttons to push, but as far as pushing buttons down for acronyms, not so great.
Nope.
Not so great. Okay. Just to let you know. The podium breaks apart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So it just falls right apart.
Do they have a whole bunch of those backstage just because it's wrestling? So they're
Stunt
like, we're going to need a
podiums.
bunch of these. Like,
They're underneath the ring.
Get all the stunt podiums ready.
But this looks like something they recorded like when they were doing a taping because they had people up close to the stage. Like I can't imagine them doing a specific just event.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the Slammies. It seemed like something they do in a TV taping.
yeah, no one was sitting down. Everyone was like going nuts.
Yeah, and I didn't.
It's like a different sound or stage area.
And like maybe they put a curtain down to block off the ring, but then that doesn't really make sense because that would block up the view of everybody else. So
Or maybe they're just all extras for this spot.
there's a lot of actually. It was like in a stadium size level. Like it was like early days Hall of Fame type crowd. Like,
hey, well, we all got you here.
There was a considerable amount of people at this thing. So I don't know if they had a separate taping of the Slammies.
It's got all the employees. Everybody bring your families. We got shit to do, boys.
They would pass this memo around, let everybody know they are required to come in to this taping.
If you don't come, you can go fuck yourself right to the unemployment line.
God damn it, pal. We also see a clip of Jesse Ventura with Andre the Giant, and then of course we get to more $1 Million Man shenanigans with the classic. This is a classic clip. Alex, what are your thoughts on
this is history?
This is history right here.
My thoughts on this were like, all right, well maybe the guy next to him is just working for him. You know, like he's been with him in multiple clips. Yeah. All right, maybe they're a duo. And then like when he just brought out the boy. Sorry.
Whoa.
When he brought out
somebody didn't have enough.
The small child. He's a boy. And it was like, can you bounce?
Soft watch.
Right. Soft can you bounce for a basketball? And then I was like, it doesn't need to be. All right. And then his mom was obviously in the background, like, yeah. And it was just all very, very racist. Extremely, which, you know what? It sells. I think it sells.
And it goes right along with what we got going on right here.
That kid went on to be LeBron James.
So you're welcome. You're welcome.
He might have lost out $500, but damn, did he make a couple dollars after that.
Oh, so what you're saying is Ted DiBiase's boot was Kevin Durant? Is that what you're saying? I think that was Ted DiBiase's wrestling boot would go on to be Kevin Durant. Prevent LeBron James from getting that big payday. So
that's Virgil hits him up every once in a while asking for some money. Let the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, Virgil's Adam Silver. That's what Virgil has evolved into. Is Adam Silver.
You get a little too sportsy on here. Let's wind it back down to the fake shit.
Let's wind it back down into just the regular Earth and stuff like that. But $1 Million Man. How about that? That's a classic.
That dude is a jackass. But also, it's like that's what he's supposed to be, right?
Classic DiBiase.
Now he's a preacher.
Really?
Yes, he is. He has atoned for all of his bad things, much like I atoned for all of my negative and harsh words earlier on this episode of How Did This Get Booked.
About the Italians.
About the Italians. I'm very sorry. Please forgive me and make me a part of your family.
I am now a made man and no longer racist.
I need no horse heads in my bed anymore.
Listen, after the research I just did for a Dino Bravo episode, I am deep in the mafia right now. I should apologize. If not this podcast, the next one I'm going to record. So
tune into that one so you can get the rest of the story.
So you know how I died. Then we get to Mean Gene. We get a cake shoved in her face because that's always hysterical.
Yeah,
like that's not anti-comedy.
No.
That's pro-comedy.
This is so meta right now.
Yeah, like that's amazing and great. Much like another fly joke where you have your shirt.
Yeah, that was terrible, and it was just like, yeah, but it's funny because you know what this is. You know what you're doing.
I'm a wiener, guys. I'm a wiener.
You know what you can go fuck yourself with? This right here.
My shirt dick.
Shirt dick.
Go fuck yourself with a shirt dick. Give me a t-shirt made that says go fuck yourself with a shirt dick. Don't put our podcast on there though.
No, definitely.
Just your faces.
That's cool.
That's cool. Everybody knows it. Alex, we kind of then. Is there anything that we glazed over? Anything else you want to discuss? Anything in your notes we forgot to discuss or not go over as proper?
I don't think so, honestly.
I know it's all been a blur. As many times as we've huffed paint,
I know, right?
But yeah. So anything else to discuss with this video release?
No, thank you guys for having me on, the hospitality and all the the nice paint.
Well, we're gonna need you to bring some paint next time.
I'm
sorry, I'm a paint mooch.
Kind of need you to chip in next time.
That's on me.
But before we get to that point, Alex, you have a live microphone in front of you. You are a performer. So if you want to let anybody know that's enjoyed your banter, anything you want to get out, or any shows like this show will be coming out this Thursday. If you've got a social media, Twitter account, Instagram, shows, Facebook, whatever, please talk into a microphone and let people know where they can find out about you.
For sure. So you can find me on Instagram on Music to My Spears, and normally at Crown Station most Wednesdays. Coming up on the 28th of June, I'll be on Tap Comedy Show in Monroe, if you're down there. And then at the end of next month, we've got another comedy show at the Common Market, pretty sure. So yeah, would love to see all you guys. This has been a bunch of fun.
Absolutely. Zane, you got anything coming up you want to let people know about?
July is con month, so we'll be doing SuperCon in Florida and Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, FSCW. Just come out.
It's the best. It's the funnest thing ever. The 12th to the 15th, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and then the 27th to the 30th in Raleigh, North Carolina. We'll also be doing a Queens of Combat double 2-show weekend there.
Okay. I don't know if we can quite say what we're going to be doing in Raleigh, but we'll go.
But there's something. There might be something amiss.
There might be something.
Well, I think we've already talked about it.
We've hinted around to it.
But let's not hit anymore.
No, let's not hit anymore. But I think the schedule gets confirmed at the end of the month. Okay. So the next episode, we're going to discuss, I think we can come out and say what we're going to do next episode. I think that's a safe thing, especially since the release dates have already been confirmed. Okay. Unless Allison Brie does something awful. Or Mark Maron does something awful,
which is far more likely.
Yeah, if Mark Maron comes out with a Chris Hardwick level scandal,
man,
that's the only way that we're going to delay what the topic of our next podcast is going to be, which we will be discussing season 2 of Glow, which will be coming out next Friday, and me and Zane are going to binge the entire thing and then discuss it for our next episode because basically everybody's like, hey, have you seen the new Glow? What do you think of it? And we're just going to go listen to our podcast.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, goddammit.
Go fuck yourself. That's basically how our stance goes with that. But we will be discussing Glow Season 2 on our next episode, and it will be spoiler-filled, so please watch it ahead of time before you discuss it. There was kind of an issue with that last time. They thought we were going to do a nice review and not ruin everything. Well, we ruined everything.
We ruined it all.
We're ruining it all. So.
Or if you don't want to watch it, you want to get the Cliff Notes. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. If you just want to,
we tell you where the tits are. We tell you what happens.
We tell you what's going on. We tell you how the wrestling looks, who are the cameos, all just the fantastic things about it. We had a lot of fun podcasting about it last time. Probably the best thing we've ever discussed on the show, to be really quite honest. So I'm hoping season 2 will be much of the same. Yeah. But anyways, guys, as always, we have to let people know who our reviews are. And part of the reason why I like doing the free t-shirt giveaway is it lets me know without having to obsessively check and get disappointed on iTunes whether or not we get a new review. Because like I said, anytime somebody leaves a review on our iTunes or Stitcher account, just DM me on Twitter your address and your t-shirt size, and I will send you out a free. Maybe I've not made it clear enough that I will give you a free How Did This Get Booked t-shirt if you leave a review on iTunes or Stitcher, which nobody's taken us up on. And so that means that on Stitcher we have Ratlin, who says, right alongside OSW Review, Jake and Zane understand how to joke about a niche interest. So I just always got to put that in there because I think it's
interest.
Because like I said, it's about plugs because he wants to plug OSW Review. So Ratlin, that's basically what I'm doing right here, right now.
Let us know if we've gotten you more followers than we've sold bars of soap.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. We don't have a sponsor this week because we only sold 1 bar of soap. Let's just put it out there in the ether and let's say it loudly and proudly.
That's 6 podcasts.
Out of six, we sold 1 bar of soap.
And we like to think it was us.
It was us. We had 100%. Everybody else,
no, they couldn't pull a 6th off.
They couldn't pull a 6th of what we could do. Absolutely not. But yeah. So like I said with these reviews, if you want to plug somebody else's podcast, which we had other people before, you know what I'm saying? Write a review to plug your Twitter account or your website. I have no qualms about plugging something else if you leave a review on iTunes. And on iTunes, we have our newest review is, You Will Believe Man Can Fly. The review is entitled, Delicious, Give Me More. It's a great review, and he's the guy that knocked off the previous guy. That's basically what his review is all about. So guys, please re-review. We will read your name every single week until you are no longer not the newest review on iTunes or Stitcher, and you'll get a free t-shirt if you DM me on Twitter, which is @ManscoutManning. Now, if you have an email for the show, make sure you email me at jake@sslshow.com, and make sure you go to the How Did This Get Booked website at howdidthisgetbooked.com, where you can pay for a t-shirt if you're like, hey, I just want to pay for a t-shirt instead of leave a review for free, So you can do that, and also too, it gives more information about previous episodes and future episodes. And as always, guys, make sure you subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, SoundCloud, and wherever podcasts are available. This has been another edition of How Did This Get Booked?
Woo!
Let's go have some more paint.
Yeah, come on.